This is meteorologist Mark Molnar. Thanks for joining me for this edition of Weather Northeastern. We're getting right into the tropics. Satellite photo showing a pretty quiet picture here of the tropics continuing into the middle to latter portion of August here. We're dealing with not too much in the way of showers and thunderstorms across the Gulf. Have some tropical waves out here in the intertropical convergence zone. But a lot of these have had trouble due to the high vertical wind shear in these atmospheric layers out here into the Atlantic. So as of late, yes, El Nino has eroded away. Here's the surface map here across the Atlantic. But one thing to make certain here is it takes a while for the atmosphere to reset from what it once was. So technically, even though El Nino is pretty much faded away, we're still dealing with those upper level wind shear, the residual leftovers here. So it will take probably about a month or so here for this to erode. Once it does, the sea surface temperatures are pretty good, pretty well up there for tropical development. So I expect the tropics to pick up middle to latter portion of September. So do not write this season off yet, because it looks like things will start to pick up out here in the Atlantic, and I'll have further coverage on that here in the coming weeks. But as I said, there is the storms, the tropical waves continuing westward here, pretty far to the south. Of course, we'll start to see some of those progress a little bit towards the north as we get later into the hurricane season. But there you have it. There's that ridge across the portion of the central and southern plains and southeast portion of the United States that's keeping the sweltering conditions remaining. There is your tropics. We're going to head right into the forecast. Before we do, I want to show you a map of areas in middle September that I'm going to really watch here. The Gulf of Mexico is really going to be open for business come the middle of September here, off the southeast portion of the United States and out here off the Cape Verdes. These are the three areas that I expect conditions to remain or become much more favorable for development here. So particularly the Gulf here and off the southeast coast and following the Cape Verdes. So there you have it. There's my tropical outlook. Let's take a look at the forecast. We're going to start off with precipitation amounts across North America. Pretty much void of precipitation out west here as a ridge builds. Here across the east, we got that trough, and it shows we might have that low pressure system develop and head up the east coast. Not all the way up the east coast, but some sort of low pressure development here along a stalled out front during the next several days. So we're going to watch for that. Hence, that's why we've got rainfall totals in the 1 to 3, maybe locally 4 inches here from the Carolinas on northeastward. And here across the mid-Atlantic, yes, we will be dealing with scattered afternoon showers and thunderstorms just about every day with a stalled out frontal boundary. Let's get right into the forecast. Severe weather outlook here. The good thing is we're not looking at much, if any, severe weather outlook, but I want to make certain to note that just about every day from about Interstate 80 in Pennsylvania on southward across the southern tier of Pennsylvania, southern New Jersey, we're going to watch for the possibility of some isolated flash flooding events. So this takes us from Wednesday to about Saturday. Each day, watch for that potential, because any of these thunderstorms that do develop along this stalled out frontal boundary will have the developing chance of actually producing some isolated flash flooding chances, especially on the smaller creeks and streams. Let's get right into that. There it is. Flooding, moderate threat. Everything else pretty much a low threat here from wind, hail, and tornado. Not really expecting any of those, but flash flooding possibility. Let's get right into the forecast. We're going to start off with the forecast for your Wednesday across the Northeast. Take a look at this. We're dealing with probably one of your nicer days across to upstate New York, New England. We will have that chance of a shower thunderstorm here across Interstate 80 on southward in Pennsylvania. Temperatures getting up towards the 70s, mid to upper 70s, a popular number. Lower Susquehanna River Valley into the 80s into your Thursday. There you have it. The front tries to come a little bit back northward here. Hence, we get those showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon, blossoming all the way up through the Susquehanna River Valley to the Finger Lakes of New York, Catskills, maybe as far north as the western Mohawk Valley. And we get that 20 to 30% chance. And temperatures heading up towards the 70s, best chance into the 80s here across Harrisburg and Pittsburgh. State College and Wilkes-Barrie, Scranton, into New York City here. This is where we'll see temperatures and humidity on the rise, as well as the chance of thunderstorms up to 50% here, lower Susquehanna River Valley, over to portions of southern New England, just south of Boston, Providence area. That's where we'll be dealing with some showers and thunderstorms possible as well into your Friday. Isolated chances of showers and thunderstorms. The front tries to ease a little bit back towards the southeast here as a low pressure system starts riding along it to the northeast in the Carolinas and eastern Virginia. But in the meantime, we'll deal with temperatures continuing to rise towards the lower 80s in places like Binghamton, Elmira, Ithaca, over towards Bradford, Warren, Erie, and all the way over towards Hartford, Connecticut, Boston, Providence, and even up towards portions of the southern Adirondacks, Lake Ontario region. We'll try to start getting into the near 80 degrees, and then Saturday, there you have it, temperatures soaring. Harrisburg and Pittsburgh pulling out all the stops to go towards 90, and across portions of the lower Susquehanna River Valley, we get well into the 80s. Binghamton, mid to upper 80s in many of the warmer valleys, and we'll warm that up here into southern New England as well as temperatures blossom into the 80s with the humidity on the rise, with that 20 to 30% chance of a shower or thunderstorm pretty much every location, especially from southern tier of New York, south and eastward here towards the coastline and the lower Susquehanna River Valley. Take a look at my 5-day for my hometown viewers, Binghamton to Scranton's upper Susquehanna region of upstate New York, northeast Pennsylvania. Take a look at this. Wednesday, we're dealing with sunny skies, really nice, probably your nicest day here up towards the upper 70s into your Thursday. Chance of an afternoon shower or thunderstorm, particularly between 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. We'll deal with temperatures approaching the upper 70s, near 80 overnight lows, dropping down to the upper 50s, lower 60s into your Friday, TGIF. Heading up towards the 80 degree region here, and take a look at that, chance of an afternoon shower or thunderstorm again. And then on to Saturday, a little bit lower of a chance of a shower or thunderstorm, particularly early to mid-afternoon. Temperatures really heading up there towards the weekend into the mid to upper 80s, humidity on the rise, and there you have it. It's looking a lot like summer across the twin tiers of the Susquehanna region of upstate New York and northeast Pennsylvania. That'll do for this edition of Weather Northeastern and Hurricane Northeastern. Thank you for joining me. Like me on Facebook at MeteoMark, subscribe to me on YouTube at MeteoMark Comments, Twitter at WX Northeastern, and Google Plus at MeteoMark. Don't forget to visit my website at MeteoMark.com and WeatherNortheastern.com.